Well, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 15 of the still unnamed series.
Yeah,
Um, maybe
this
it
is
will never have a name.
maybe not. I mean, this is going to be the episode that proves why we shouldn't have called it '04.
Yeah. Well, I didn't call it '04,
I know,
so
I know. I just that was certainly a name that was floating around for a while.
that's true. Yeah. We are on Sunday, week 4, December 2004, as you can see up there. We are on the verge of just another year. Actually, it's not that. It's kind of momentous. Not like a new decade or new millennium or anything, but we're going good.
Yeah, 2005.
2005,
Huge year. I disagree.
big,
That's a massive year.
big year actually.
Yeah.
We're on the verge of crowning the two top stars in our industry. How you feeling about it, buddy?
How am I feeling about 2004?
Yeah, how you feeling a year in?
It's been a it's been a tumultuous year.
Yeah, I would agree.
But ups and downs, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff for '05. I think '04 was fun overall. I mean, we got a few topics we can delve into to more analyze specific stuff and probably fuel a bit more conversation about the year. But overall, I think it was good. It was a good year. I mean, it was big. It was a long year. It's WWE, right?
Yeah.
We got 52 weeks of television on each brand, plus 14 pay-per-views. Sounds like
14 pay-per-views. Yeah.
so there was just a lot of content that we recorded or that we streamed, I guess, because we only put up about 12 of them. So it's hard to categorize it all because we had some bad shows and we had some good shows, and it was there was a lot of content, so it's hard to kind of sum it up uniformly.
Was a long ass year. I felt like '04. I think it's because we changed creative a couple times.
It's true.
It was a long ass year. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to '05. I'm looking forward to keep going. I think I was gonna. I was just gonna lay out a little bit about what we're gonna do here. Puddy kind of mentioned already. We're gonna look at. He's written down some questions and stuff like that, some criterias and whatnot, to help us talk a little bit about the year. I have a spreadsheet hidden here. This is the win-loss totals for everybody on our roster here at the end of the year. Yeah, it's pretty eventful. We'll take a look at that in a little bit more depth in just a bit, and then we'll do. I'll advance.
That's a good point. Well, while we're here, I mean, there's no easier time to do this. I think you should format that to show percentages. Just if I'll tell you how to do it. Just highlight.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, highlight the 3 columns. Yeah, you're in the right place right now. Do that.
It's like this.
No.
Oh
God,
what have I done?
Just click like
Police.
Police. Yeah, click there and hold and drag. There you go.
I don't know why I thought that would move it. I'm really bad at this sometimes.
And then right click on
Okay.
the data that you've selected.
Oh.
And then format cells.
Format. Yeah.
And then
Ooh, down here.
percentage. And you'll probably want to give it 2 percentage. You probably want to give it 2 decimal places is fine. Yeah. There you go.
There you go. That's much nicer.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll get back to that in a minute.
We'll get back to that. All right.
And then we'll do the advance, and we'll look at the awards that the game gives out.
Yeah, maybe we'll predict a few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So the first little thing I have written down here is the best used character on Raw. And so there are a lot of, there's a lot of ways to define that.
A lot of characters on Raw.
There's also a lot of characters on Raw. There's a lot of ways to define that, though. Is it like the best character overall? Or when I said used, I definitely want to imply kind of a we got the most out of someone kind of way, maybe with a comparison to real life. But you can feel free to interpret it however you want. It's just, a stimulus for discussion.
Do you want me to pull up the Raw in ring roster?
Sure. And it doesn't have to be in ring.
Ooh,
It's
that's
a
fair.
character.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Johnny Ace getting bit in there, right?
Johnny Ace, I think, is a contender.
Let's go with any role then. We'll just go Raw. Um, I think George Hackenschmitten should be a decent name in there because
not
we
a
got a
bad
lot
shout.
out of just a ref. Jack Doan has become a hero to children everywhere.
I think you mean a villain, good sir.
That's true. I'm. I think Tajiri's been a lot of fun.
He has. Do we think the character's been that good though?
No, I think over time he's seen some ups and downs, but I think he's been pretty consistent. Which I think should be applauded a little bit.
Someone in chat says they didn't miss a lot. Well, we did do a whole SmackDown, but
Yeah.
I've missed a lot of this video. So, what do we think about Nat? How have we done with Nat? There's no real life comparison for her.
Hulk Hogan.
I mean, what I mean by that is like she wasn't on the roster in this era.
Yeah.
How are both of us? Someone asks how we're doing. How are you doing, Tucker? I already talked about how I was doing earlier.
I'm doing good.
I'm glad.
I'm doing fine.
I'm glad.
I'm doing okay.
Okay. Yeah, what I mean, yeah, so that wasn't on the roster, so we can't compare her to her real life at this era.
True.
But, you know, maybe just in general. I don't know. Oh, also someone mentioned Johnny Nitro / Spade / Controversy. He was actually, that's actually pretty, it was pretty fun.
That was a fun character. I think from what I'm looking at here, I think
Helms is a good shout, actually.
I would say I think there's two options for me. I think it's either Helms, just in terms of where he started the year, where he's ended the year, the stuff we've done with him, the people he's beaten, where his pop is now, the matches he's been getting out of people, or Flair, who I think has been tremendous. I think he's been tremendous pretty much the entire year, both in ring and out of the ring. I think he's been a ton of fun.
What's some of your favorite stuff you've done with Flair this year?
Obviously the Valvina stuff is a lot of fun. Having him kind of be dad to Randy Orton and caretaker to Batista while also being like schniveling henchman to Triple H was a lot of fun. There's a lot of different relationships there to show in that group.
The Eddie feud was a lot of fun.
The Eddie feud with with the mom fucking loads of fun.
I mean, I think you've stumbled upon another contender there, which is Ric Flair's mother, who has been a consistent character on the show for pretty much all of the off season.
True.
Yeah. What do you think about Victoria?
Victoria's been okay, but she was hurt for like the first 6 months, 7 months. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to quantify that. Like when she basically debuted in September, wrestled like 4 times.
Those were, I mean, 3 of those were on pay-per-view.
They were. Yeah, they were.
Yeah. She was clearly a big part of the show.
Yes. I think Shelton is also a pretty good shout.
I have to say, if we're going to go anywhere near Shelton, I think there's a far better character standing next to him this year.
Oh, it's Charlie.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant Sean, actually. But no, Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie.
Charlie's been great.
I think Shelton has been a very good asset, but in terms of the character, we've explored Charlie a far more this year.
And Charlie takes more L's.
For sure.
I mean, he's less protected, and yet I still feel like at the end of the day he matters.
Has cold momentum. Can we change his gimmick? How does he feel about changing his gimmick? Let's talk to him.
Sure. Yeah, we're good.
Oh, okay. I like to talk.
It doesn't matter what.
I'd like to talk to him.
But it's no different.
I'd like to talk to him about it.
He'll just be like, the game says I'm okay.
It's in booking, or you can go look for it. Okay. It's the second.
There. The
Cool.
game
All
says
right.
it's okay.
Look, I like to check in, so we should probably call him Shelton Benjamin's friend.
Uh,
Legitimate.
legitimate. Where are you going with that? I'll let you take
I
it
would
away.
say generic safe.
All the way,
One notch into each.
right there.
Yeah.
There we go. Friend of Shelton Benjamin gimmick.
Look, he needs a momentum reset before the mini Big Show run.
Yes.
So I don't know who I would go for. It's so hard
Hmm.
on Raw.
Yeah, Raw.
There are quite a few characters.
Raw's a lot of fun. I won't
I'm
lie.
half tempted to go the same person for best and worst,
Ooh.
which would be fun because there are a lot of contenders to put into both of those categories.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's so bad it's good, so good it's bad. Mortis.
Mortis is definitely a big one. I mean, compare what Mortis did in the game to what Mortis did in real life, and it's
I got Mortis paid.
you got Mortis hardcore paid.
His Christmas bonus was like 600K. Like I got this motherfucker paid.
Okay, I think I know who I'm gonna go for. My pick is Randy Orton,
Ooh.
who beat Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. We got a bit more out of the US title run. We had a feud with Shelton Benjamin that elevated Shelton Benjamin. I think we did better with getting him to the world title picture and breaking him up in Evolution. And of course, he didn't immediately lose the belt to Triple H. And while
That's always good.
and while at times he has loitered about with the title, I still think if you compare him to real life, it's been a significant improvement.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it. I think somebody actually who isn't immediately on this list, so it's kind of hard to bring him up, is Heyman. I think his run as GM was really good. Like
I actually agree with that.
I think he was, for all the reasons that Eric's fun and stuff like that. I think Paul was a ton of fun to do something really different compared to his like WWE like real life character, to kind of make him into a more benevolent figure that seemed to believe in youth and wanted to see a lot of the members of like the Raw Home Army and stuff like that, guys who were about the Raw brand, wanting to see them succeed. I think that was pretty cool, in terms of translating the things that he seems to believe in real life and kind of putting that on screen in the best way possible in this era.
I think that's good. I think something I've just realized is talking about these things is good for this video, because a lot of what you just said, I think the people on the YouTube might not have seen, because a lot of like
True.
Paul's story and Mortis's story.
Mortis.
Mortis.
I'm Mortis, everybody.
Actually, that's a good shout. There's always a few new people in chat. I think the best way to get them caught up is to just show them the title histories. So why don't we go through those? Maybe just for Raw, we'll go for SmackDowns later.
Sure.
I think
so for Raw,
if you click search, I think you can filter by brand.
No.
Oh my god, Adam.
They allow you to brand them, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
I don't know why you can't sort by that. So world champion, we've gone from Triple H to Eddie's big victory at Mania after winning the Rumble, Benoit winning that fatal 4-way
on Raw,
and then Orton beating Benoit on SummerSlam and be a man.
Should we show the defenses? I think those
Sure.
would be quite interesting. So we have there the Mick Foley match at the Rumble that Shawn earned.
Yep.
Booker T on TV, Eddie at Mania, the Eddie Flair I Fucked Your Mother match, Eddie and Trips in Hell in a Cell, the aforementioned Fatal 4-Way, then the Benoit defense at Vengeance, the SummerSlam match, and then Orton's various feuds with the Dark Triad that is Shelton Benjamin, Batista, and Eddie Guerrero.
Yep. I can't believe we never did Eddie and Orton one-on-one for the belt.
Yeah.
That feels crazy.
I mean, Eddie's been hunting that title match ever since.
He has been hunting.
Also, those are some very impressive match ratings for this belt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. you can kind of see the section here where it kind of starts to get crazy killer, ignoring Benoit.
Also, the belt has not been defended since Taboo Tuesday. That's quite interesting.
Yeah, it's just been Orton hanging out.
That is true.
Holding
He
on to
hasn't
it.
done much since Taboo Tuesday, except for
No.
well, actually, he was the Survivor Series thing was after
That's
Taboo
true.
Tuesday. Yeah,
That's true. And he was all about that. So,
yeah.
yeah. Good shit, Randy. World Tag Belts currently on Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero. So we went from Batista and Flair onto Booker T and RBD to Resistance to World's Greatest Tag Team, back to Flair Tista, to the New Age Outlaws, to La Resistance again, to World's Greatest Tag Team again, onto Benoit and Guerrero. Defenses.
There are
here.
surprisingly not that many defenses for how many title changes there have been.
Oh yeah.
Wow, look at
We got
those!
a couple
Look at that! Yeah,
bangers in there.
there's three I can see off the top of my head. The Booker T RVD one, then World's Greatest Tag Team Flirtista's best match in May there, and then we've got the most recent one.
Yeah.
Flirtista are in all of them. That's not surprising.
Not shocked. Yeah.
Kind of reinforces your Ric Flair point. Interestingly, we can see Walras in one of these matches.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's quite interesting.
Yeah, that's the tag team turmoil match, eh? That
Yeah, the
you
Charlie
forget
Haas
about
one.
your other opponents.
Did you forget? Yeah, well. Yikes.
And the worst match there, unshockingly. Oh, it's a tied worst match. It's
Mania.
tag team fuckery at Mania, and then Resistance and fucking the Outlaws at Unforgiven.
Oh, God.
Which, yeah.
Yeah, that's unsurprising.
Oh, actually, no. Wait, how did I miss this? It's actually just great this tag team and Resistance here at Backlash.
I bet. We probably didn't give
57.
that match any love.
I doubt it. Backlash was probably a pretty tight show, so
Yeah.
I could
Well,
see
actually,
how-
I don't even know if it was because it was the only Raw pay-per-view of the year that had neither Triple H nor Shawn Michaels on it. So it was probably one of the least tight shows of the year.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got the Intercontinental Championship currently held by Christian. So it goes Orton, Benjamin, Rhino, Tajiri, Christian.
I completely forgot Rhino had that belt.
Oh yeah, tremendous.
Oh
Randy
my
Orton.
God! Look at the marked decrease.
Yep.
It's still pretty good though. There's a lot of green there.
Oh yeah, like a lot of green. We've kept the belt, I think, on people who,
Can
for the
work.
most part, yeah, can work. Rhino's no defenses in there. Reed pretty funny with him winning and then just losing.
It was very quickly. I think it was very quick too. I think it was literally a week apart.
Yeah. Yeah, now we're on Christian. With no end in sight.
And we have been since September, and it hasn't been defended on TV since Christian got it. Look at all those TV defenses, and then Christian gets it.
Christian gets it, and we're like, ooh, wrestling on TV. And then it's women's belt, which has gone from Molly Holly on a Nat Hart to Trish, and now to Victoria.
She ain't the lady to mess with. Whoop.
Woo!
Go, go, go. Yeah, there's some matches in there.
There are some matches in there, indeed.
I swear Nat Hart was the right decision, guys. I still believe.
Really quick, looking at the prestige, women's belt is up 4 from the start of the year. The IC belt is up 5 from the start of the year. The World Tag Team belts are up 5 from the start of the year. And the World Heavyweight Championship has not moved.
It moved a little bit there in Mania.
A little bit there. Yeah. Mania and then back again at SummerSlam.
Eddie Guerrero and Randy Orton.
They push forward.
So who do you think is the best used character on Raw this year?
I think it's Rick.
All right.
His tag team shit's been great. His singles shit has been great. Whether he's in just straight up wrestling or he's being a character. I think everything about him this year has been pretty fucking phenomenal.
And he's not on any drugs.
He's not, no. He's been a good boy.
Alright, here's the fun one. Worst used character on Raw.
Ooh, God. Randy Orton's up there.
I wouldn't go for Orton. My first two thoughts are Regal and Doink, for sure. 100%.
Oh, I don't think Doink can be worst used.
I mean, if you compare... I mean, honestly, though, if you compare his usage to real life, if you agree that it's kind of been worse, then that's pretty bad, if you've managed to, like, clear that bar, right?
Sure, but it's Nick Dinsmore, and it was never going to be good. That's my only thing.
You say that, I think we were quite excited about him at the time.
I think we were excited with... I don't know if we were excited about Dinsmore. That's what I'll go with.
Well, what do you think we were excited about?
I think we were excited at the prospect of introducing a new character and doing something kind of interesting with that. Mm-hmm. And it was also kind of funny, his initial premise about possibly being a clown.
Yeah.
To where eventually he was indeed a clown.
I think that was a fair decision that had a chance to be good, but that's what ultimately has doomed him.
Yeah.
It's for me, it's whether or not he is actually being used worse now than in real life. Because if the answer is yes, I really do think the fact you've managed to clear that bar is impressive. But if the answer is no, then you're right. He's just not, he's not that exciting to begin with. So him being a clown isn't, a huge deal. Now, Regal is a different story.
I think Regal actually does have a really good case.
And the thing is, I don't even think the angle that we did with Regal is that bad, but it was executed so poorly that he got nothing out of it, is my opinion.
It's because at least for me, when I was doing it, the tags were pretty clamped up. It was hard for me to convince myself to put Doink the Clown over other people.
That's fair. That's fair.
It was just a bad idea, I think. I don't think...
Someone said that the worst used character might be Triple H because compared to real life, he's kind of a scrub. I mean...
Oh, that's true.
Is it, though? He's been all over the show this year.
Worst used character compared to real life is Sean. We made a fucking moron.
Let me defend Triple H before we talk about Sean. So Triple H went over to SmackDown. That was treated as a huge deal. Then he had this big transfer story. He went over. He immediately got a title shot, which I'm pretty sure was a bit fucky. So he could have very easily won it. He was treated as this massive deal. He comes back. He gets title shot after title shot. He's been towards the main event. Sure, he lost to Hurricane Helms at SummerSlam. That's the low point. Let's not sugarcoat that. That happened. But he wins the feud with Shawn. Just clean. No, that last one standing match, there was no interference. He just fucking beat him. So, there is that. I don't think he's been that bad. And, Triple H was always going to take a bit of a hit when we didn't have him bury Randy Orton.
That's true.
And I think that was a worthwhile trade.
I think I might agree with that. Now you got to defend Sean, though.
Did Sean lose to one of the Bashams? Is that a thing that happened? Or did he
fuck. That could be a thing. I don't know. No, because we never had Sean work TV after a while. We decided no, we're done with it. He's done working TV.
So, I mean, look, Sean's been pretty poorly used. Let's be honest.
I'd say compared to real life, yes.
I mean, but at the same time, we kind of made that choice consciously. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like you hesitate, whereas as soon as we agreed, fuck Shawn Michaels, I was pretty I recognize him as an asset, and I do think if you look at it if you look at it from the perspective of he is a main event asset that we don't very much like. He's actually been used about as much as you'd expect. He's main evented 4 pay-per-views. He's been a huge part of almost every main event storyline, but he loses in the end. and he's going to be a big part of New Year's Revolution. He's going to have like a marquee match at Mania, and then he's going to have a man. Like my plan for him is to have him feud with a main eventer, a Pantheon guy, after Mania. So he's going to continue to be highly prominent, but I don't see him as a world champion again ever.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure. I think he fits the category, even though I understand why you might disagree with that.
Yeah, I think I can feel that. I think that's decent enough. I think it has to go to Regal. I think it has to go to Regal. I mean, obviously you could make an argument for Kane, I think.
I don't think you could. It's Kane.
Oh, sure, yeah, but compared to what he was doing in real life, he was like fighting for the world belt and like in year-long feuds with Edge and Snitsky.
Is that a
actually
good?
wait?
Is that a good use of his character though?
No, I'd much rather him shoot fire.
I'm trying to think. Benoit deserves a shout, but it's not all of our fault.
I think Chris has been pretty good.
I think he's been pretty good. But I think this was his best. Like, this was a really good year for him in real life, where they used him quite well until the back half. And because of the injury, I think we could have probably adapted to the injury better than we did. And I'm going to talk about this more on SmackDown, because there's a guy who got hit way harder than Chris. But and you're going to really disagree with me when I talk about that. But this guy got hit really hard than Chris. But I still think Chris got the short end of the stick with that. I do like the way we got the belt onto Chris. I think that month and a half was really good. Like him winning it, defending against Trips, losing to Orton. I think we did really well to kind of spin that into what we wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I like that we had him go away for a while. There are times where I think his character is confused. And I think that might be because we see him differently. So he's kind of been in that spot for the last like 2 or 3 months, where I feel like we both want to do different things with him, and so he ends up not doing a lot because of that. I think that ends up being where he's at.
Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah, I don't think he's that bad. So I think I'll probably agree with you on Regal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not Regal, I don't even know who you could say. There's nobody I don't think who's as egregious as Regal in terms of somebody we probably should have brought up for best in terms of value over real life. Val Venus didn't exist really in real life. He was just the velocity level jobber, and he's become Ric Flair's dad.
Can we change his gimmick? Can we talk to him about that?
No, we can't. Oh, we can now, finally. Thank God.
Well, you don't know yet. We need to talk to him.
Oh, my fucking God. I have no problem with
all right,
that,
cool.
Buddy.
Thanks, Val. Let's change it to Ric Flair's dad.
Realistic.
Swag.
Seen out in the wild.
Swagger. I think one notch into creative and one notch into unique.
I think that's fair. Him being another character who's like 22 years older than him's father. I think that's pretty special.
All right. Best used character. Oh, I think this is. I'm really surprised it's come to this, but now that I think about it, I think we're gonna really disagree on almost everything here on SmackDown. So, best used character on SmackDown. That gimmick better be rated great. I agree.
I think Tori has been really good.
I'm 100% with you on that one.
I think Tori's been phenomenal. Basically, she's ran with everything we've given her. And she's really not that good. Like, in terms of what the game...
Whoa, she's so over. Holy shit.
She's amazing. Like, oh my fucking God. Also, we should prepare that.
Yeah, true.
I've had her and Jericho are both ready to go.
Likes smaller men.
Legendary.
Doug Bash,
obviously.
I mean, let's save Ray, because that's an interesting one.
Okay.
What about Doug Basham, the Bashman?
Fuck off.
Definitely,
Cena's been pretty good.
Cena's been pretty good, but I don't think we did anything extraordinary with him.
No. Yeah, dude, there's no need to. I mean, because next year will be his year.
Yeah.
It's just good, decent enough to
We
remark
didn't
that we
fuck
did
him
fun
up.
things with John.
Yeah.
We did fun things with John that were different than what he did in real life, but similar enough to where we're not at that different of a spot with him.
I'd like to
Than
mention
in
Teddy
real life.
Long. I think he had a good year.
He did. He played a lot of different characters. Now he's your tag team loving granddad.
Similarly, I'd like to mention Mark Henry, who I think obviously we were going to always, almost, unless we fucked him up, we were always going to do better than real life. And
Considering he was hurt for
yeah,
almost all of the year.
I think
just
we
for the people at home.
and we did the opposite of fucking him up. I think we did really well. Edge and Chavo, and Chavo is going to be my
Chavo,
pick.
I think.
Yeah.
Chavo's been his back half of the year. Chavo's been
All
pretty
year for me.
elite.
The way we changed the Los Guerreros breakup, the way we shifted it to dealing with the loss of his uncle, from a he's been drafted perspective. I think I think Chavo's had a great year. He's been fantastic. Coyote have also been used better than real life.
I think a pretty good shout with Chavo. I mean, I'll take part credit for this for Chavo, just of the fact that I was the one who really pushed against having him turn heel. I didn't.
Oh,
I don't want heel Chavo. I mean, I'm okay with it now because we've seen a bit more babyface Chavo. And we kind of understand where he's at overall. Whether it's a full-on heel turn or not at this point, I don't think we're clear.
wait, what the fuck's on his right shoulder?
That's Eddie's arm.
Okay.
It's always been Eddie's arm.
I was really
leaning on him.
Yeah, I only just saw it. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's Eddie's arm.
Okay, good.
That's how I knew it was a time period accurate pick.
That's also amazing. Like his arm leaning on.
He's
great.
leaning on him. Yeah,
great.
leaning in on his picture.
I think with Turbo especially, I think one good look at why he's been, like a good example, evidence of why he's been so successful, is that I'm now thinking like we need to start executing the end game of this cabinet storyline. Otherwise, we might risk losing Chavo, and the fact that I care enough about him that I'm worried about that, I think, is evidence of the fact that we've built him up to be a really important part of SmackDown.
Yeah, I think he's. I think he's absolutely. I mean, he's. I don't even know what to say. He's probably the most wholesome character I think we had for a little while. You know what I mean? He was pretty straight-laced. Just a good-ass dude. And I think
if a certain somebody wasn't there,
resonate.
he would obviously be SmackDown's babyface for Mania.
Oh, I was going to Ray, but yeah.
Yeah, it's him.
SmackDown kind of busy actually.
So let's talk
Ray,
about
John,
let's
Taker.
talk about Rey Mysterio. He won the treble. Like, there's no doubt about it. He's been booked strong.
He's the fucking. This is his year. 04 is the Rey Mysterio Eddie Guerrero year. Like in our world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's been booked incredibly strong. But has he been a well-used character? Because I'm not entirely sure I'm that excited by Rey Mysterio's 04.
This one fucking OVW match. Like Robbie Dauber. I'm like, fuck you. Like,
Linda McMahon is another character for best used character. That's not a bad shout either if it wasn't so throwaway.
we did get a lot of legs out of Linda.
We're still getting legs out of Linda.
Don't smack down yourself, folks. You kind of see where Ray all of a sudden just takes off and is like, no, I'm just putting on bangers now. Obviously, Kurt's part of that.
True, and I mean, if you look at the early half, it's there's a lot of bangers in there too. Like, holy shit!
Yeah.
I thought that was a 97, but it's an 87.
Yeah, a tag team match with Big Show, Triple H, and Kurt. Holy shit. I think I'd agree with that in terms of character. He's a little bit more.
What's that? This is
just
a weird
a wrestler.
question, but how did you decide to play and book TEW together? That's a good question. I mean, it's a long story, essentially.
Long story. Basically, that dude from earlier, Ben, watched Puddy and eventually reached out to Puddy, and then we kind of just met through him. We'll go with that.
And then we copied Nick and Swarley's New Japan series. To do
Did we?
Yeah, I think we did for WCW. That never happened. Well, we did like 2 episodes of it, and then
excuse me, sir. We did like 2 months.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
we just did like 2 months of it.
I may have only uploaded 2 episodes.
Probably, yeah.
Those thumbnails were banging because they were goofy as
They
fuck.
They were pretty funny.
But then everyone
Rhinoceros.
was doing a brand split when the real life brand split happened. So we were like, let's do a brand split.
This is it. This is the opportunity.
And ours was the only one that actually like kept going after like the first few episodes.
Yeah, the one that actually lasted like, how far did we go? We went like 2 years, I think, in that, and so
maybe like a year and a half because we started in like the real.
Oh, that's true.
Summer.
We started like yeah. Yeah. In terms.
Oh yeah, so Ray.
Yeah.
Just like in terms of like how excited you are about his storylines this year.
Yeah.
The Sean. Honestly, I forgot about this. The Sean stuff think is actually quite good.
Yeah. Sean, the initial kind of stuff with JBL and Kurt, but being really racist. Like, I think that's
we'll get to that.
Pretty solid. But I think this back half of the year, Ray suffered a little bit from being Johnny Wrestler guy.
Yeah.
Which is it's okay. Like, you know what I mean? You need people to play that, but
I think sadly, despite his strong booking, I don't think he's anywhere near this category. Just because I just don't think he's anywhere near exciting enough.
That's fair. Yeah, I definitely think there are people who are more who've had flashier years, even though Ray has the numbers to back up being the best guy on the brand. I think somebody who, even just shouting a couple people out that I think have done really well here, John has been phenomenal. Like,
he has over-impressed for sure, especially the JBL one.
Look at his growth. Like, obviously, like, he's fighting better talent now, but I just mean, like, he's so much better than he was even remotely at the start of the year. And he's really not worked that much. Like, he's...
Are you planning on continuing your ECW stuff?
No.
Okay.
I just wanted to shout out John real quick for not being... He's been also... Despite having that bully personality type there, he's really never been an ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never really noticed him do any of the signature JBL spots. Kid Cash was a decent pickup.
Kid Cash is a huge shout for this kind of category, yeah.
Yeah, just in terms of the fact he literally wasn't there in real life, and he was Cruiserweight champ for like 3 months, 2 months?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, pretty decent little reign. And then I think the last guy... 2 more guys I'd shout out. Book, who kind of... Booker has definitely... He hit the ceiling, kind of where we wanted him to be. And it was... You remember that point where it was like, Book is like... He's exploding. Like, what is going on? Like, these people just all of a sudden got super fucking behind Book. And we kind of started to feel some pressure to maybe do more stuff with him. But it's just kind of the spot we're in with what needs to happen on SmackDown. There's just not that much room for him to stretch his legs. And last, I've had a lot of fun with Jericho this year.
Interesting, yeah.
He's been a lot of fun.
I agree.
He gets part of the rub from... He gets a bit of a rub from Tori, even. Yeah. Because everything she touches is gold, and she's been, well, lately maybe touching him. But
whoa.
Whoa.
So Jericho's interesting because he definitely is a contender for both categories. I agree. It's been a lot of. Wait, what's up? You disagree?
No, I just find that really funny. Like, I wouldn't even think of Chris as like remotely near being the worst on this brand.
If only because he was a real guy in real life, and he is a cruiserweight in this. And our cruiserweight division has not been elevated that much. Let's be honest.
They're not yet. They're not yet like subhuman. They're like super subhuman.
It's true though. Like, we've never treated the cruiserweight division all that seriously.
Should we look at the belts?
Yeah, but let's finish this tangent
Yeah, go
first.
ahead.
But
Go ahead.
let's look at the belts. Like, we never treated the cruiserweight division all that seriously, and it definitely would be looked at as a sort of demotion for him to spend so much time in it. I think we redeemed it in a way with this back 2 months, where I think we've been exploring the character a bit more, and we have been seeing more of Jericho, and I think that if this was like a real life thing, if we think about what the fictional audience in our game would think, attacking the Undertaker in the last pay per view of the year in the main event would put a different perspective on his year than
Yeah.
if he hadn't done that. And it looks like he's going to be moving into something bigger now. So
Mm.
I don't think I put him on the category list for best used, because there's been so much wrestling Dean Malenko or wrestling Ultimo
True.
Dragon, or
True.
but the cruiserweight, we have not elevated the cruiserweight division in any way since Rey Mysterio left it. So I think, I don't think he's there, but I think I agree he's been fun to use.
Yeah. You got anybody else here you're thinking of?
My guy's Chavo. What's your pick?
I think I'd say Chavo as well. I mean, Edge is close, but I think Edge's best stuff here has been his relationship with Chavo.
That is true.
And I think a lot of that comes from the character that we had already established for Chavo and kind of what he cares about. And seeing Edge kind of react to that has been a lot of fun. I think just for their flexibility, both literally in Rob's case, but Rob's been really he's been pretty good to use in just about anything. We've also gotten a lot of use out of Kendrick, somebody who hasn't won a whole bunch but has been involved in a lot of different angles. Funaki over the past couple months has emerged. Jimmy Noble's had a fun year.
Has had
Bob Core
hardcore,
has been pretty fun.
We did rip him of his WWE title match though.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Not so much anymore. Really, just pointing out people who've been booked well. I was just pointing out characters I kind of liked over this year, and there's a lot on SmackDown. SmackDown, I think, was a lot of fun in 04.
All right, let's take a look at the belts. So your pick is Chavo?
Yeah, I'd go Chavo as well, I think. All right, so we've got the... Fuck it, we'll start from the top. We'll go the WWE heavyweight title is currently on John Bradshaw Layfield. Who the hell else? Went from Lesnar onto Bradshaw, onto Angle, onto Ray, and then back to Bradshaw here. If we check out the defenses, I think
it's pretty good. I'm actually quite impressed with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just trying to take a look here if there's anything really that notable to talk about. JBL's best match being with Chavo is pretty great.
That is good. It's crazy how many defenses JBL's actually fit in to a July victory.
Oh yeah. It's pretty great. If you're wondering where the match is, where JBL wins the belt off of Mysterio, this was a Ray won, and then Kurt Angle came out and reversed decision, much like in real life. So we had the angle afterwards that switched the belt. Just in case people are wondering how we get from Ray beating John to John beating Taker.
Kendrick got released in 04, so compared to real life, he is one of the best used. That's true.
Yeah. I did think he got released, or at least he was just like a low-level job guy.
No, yeah, we talked about this, I think, because his contract came up, and we were like, should we keep it?
His contract is up like the first week. Like, you load in the game, and it's like, Spanky's leaving. What do you want to do?
There's one of the rare instances of, I think you did talk me into keeping him, and I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I think, I don't even remember what I said. I think I just pitched
London
we can have him hang out with London a whole bunch, and if we keep him, we can make sure his value is where we need it when we really care to go for it. US belt, which is now on Ray. Hooray! We crowned a new champion on the SmackDown we just ran, the last SmackDown of the year, for all of you YouTube people. Ray beat Kurt in match 4.
3-1.
So,
yeah.
Yes, so we've gone from Big Show to Lesnar to Cena to Book to Cena to Angle, then vacated it for 2 months, and now on to Ray finally to start the new year. Checking out some of the defenses here. That Ray Kurt one is the best match.
It
The one we
banged.
just ran. Yeah, it did
I mean,
bang.
this belt has been treated as a mid card belt for most of the year with some pretty high profile mid carders, but definitely a mid card belt. So it's understandable why it doesn't quite have the same bang as like the IC belt until we get to like Cena, Booker, and Mysterio, Kurt. Yeah, and now right now it's crazy, like prestigious. Like obviously
Yeah.
not prestigious, but like right now it's being treated incredibly highly. That won't last long. We're
No.
going to be putting it back on Cena next week, and then on Orlando
Get it
Jordan
back
from there.
on OJ, baby.
Back on OJ. Has OJ won this before?
No, he hasn't.
Okay.
You're right. How do you feel knowing that if that Ray Kurt match had bombed, the best U.S. title match this year would have been Booker T and the Big Show?
I feel happy.
Accurate.
You can interpret that however you wish.
Then we've got the tag team every fucking time. So it's gone from the Bashams to Los Guerreros to the Bashams to Too Cool to Kyodai to RVD
Wait.
and OJ.
I think that was Kyodai Unleashed.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, Kyodai Unleashed to RVD and OJ to Mark Henry and Rosie to Chavo and Edge to Doug Basham and Chavo.
I think we have to explain a lot of these.
Maybe.
So Kyodai Unleashed were when Kenzo Suzuki arrived, I think. And then, no?
Oh,
No, I think you're right. I think Kenzo leashed them and they became Kyodai Leashed.
yes. They became Kyodai Unleashed when Tajiri left.
Tajiri left, that's right, yeah. Yeah. Then we've got RVD and OJ, which are just, RVD needed a friend, and OJ was friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And they became a tag team, and later Orlando betrayed him.
Oh, hold on. I'm killing a spider.
Go ahead. Mark Henry and Rosie were just a dominant tag team. It was Tucker's angle. I don't really remember what was going on with it. But maybe Tucker will tell you when he's back from killing the spider. Ray is a transitional champion, just like in real life, sadly. Yeah. I think he was a proper champion for the WWE title, though, this year. He didn't get... I mean, he beat Triple H, so can't get too mad about that. And then, obviously, Chavo and Edge were our big tag team this year. We were quite excited about that one. It took a lot of convincing, though, on my part, to get that team together. I don't think Tucker was too interested at the start. But then it finally did come back together, and we got them to win the titles. TLC was fun, though it bombed. And then, of course, we have the whole Chavo becomes the title bearer angle, which obviously these belts took a bit of a backseat after Chavo became the number one contender for the world title, because, he had more important things to deal with. But and then afterwards, we're obviously still dealing basically with this proxy feud in the tag division. And now I wait for the return of Tucker, because I don't have anything else to say on the tag team titles. Does anybody in chat have any questions about 04 while Tucker is away, and that I may be able to answer while we're here?
So bad news. I got my tool of spider destruction.
Mm-hmm.
I turned on the lights and I turned around. He's gone. Like, I don't know where the fuck this spider went. He was decent sized. He wasn't moving fast, and now he's just gone.
I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he's
fine.
I'm sure he's fine, Tucker. So what was Mark Henry and Rosie about, Tucker?
Mark Henry and Rosie was about minorities. It's about the damn minorities. Mark Henry and Rosie came together under Teddy Long, who told them that if they teamed together, they could be really dominant and shit and do things for black power and whatnot, until eventually they lost and Mark Henry murdered both of them.
All right, I think
that's.
I think I went over the rest of the tag teams while you were gone, so we can move on.
Excellent. I'm gonna be on high alert now, like constantly. God damn it. As we saw, the cruiserweight belt is on Chris Jericho.
For the sixth time.
Sixth time. It has gone from Tajiri to Ray to Kid Cash to Vacant to Dragon to Jericho to Noble, and now back to Jericho.
Although it's worth mentioning that the mod is incorrectly set up, and Ray should be the Cruiserweight Champion to start, because the SmackDown that he wins the belt is taped before New Year's, but is aired afterwards. But I counted out the amount of shows that are before the Rumble in the game, and technically Ray should be champion already. Just putting it out there.
All right, you son of a bitch. You can calm down with that. But yeah, I think the cruiserweight belt's been pretty good this year. Best defense on there is Jericho winning the belt back from Noble.
Nice.
Which very cool, very cool.
This might be one of the most TV defended belts on the retinue. There's one Velocity defense there against DOS.
DOS. Never forget DOS.
Never forget DOS.
Never forget DOS.
I like these multi-mans. You can see the multi-mans are very different, I think.
Yeah, you were talking about that the other day.
There's a multi-man number one contenders match at Great American Bash as well, which is similarly different from the other two. So I'm a big fan of that. Jimmy Noble had a bit of a run there. Fair play to him. Oh, most of it's against Chris Jericho.
I think and one Funaki, but I think he's had. By stoppage. Beat that shit out of him. Oh my god. Yeah, I think though. I think it's been an alright year for the cruiserweight belt.
I agree.
Yeah. And finally, we got tag team titles. Funaki and Shannon Moore, who won the titles at Armageddon there, beating Jamie Noble and Kid Cash in a ladder match.
And they will defend them next week on SmackDown. At least that's
ladder match.
That's what I'm going to pitch.
Oh, sorry, not a ladder match? Being told not a ladder match.
Not a ladder match, no.
Checking out the prestiges, the SmackDown World Championship is the same, despite going down there a lot. The US belt
I'd be shocked if this didn't decrease.
Up 5.
Wow, I thought back in the old TEWs, vacating something for a while would lower the prestige while it was vacant.
Interesting. It seems to have just frozen it here. The WWE tag belts are down 1
after a turbulent year.
Turbulent year, yes. The cruiserweight belt is up 6.
Okay, that's pretty good.
And the cruiserweight tag belts have not moved.
And hopefully will not move.
Back to SmackDown real quick. Most disappointing or worst used?
Worst used character. I'm going to kick things off before we go over some honorable mentions and, add to the contenders list. I'd like to go over a controversial one.
Uh-oh. He's going to say A-Train.
So, I talked about Benoit, how he wasn't the worst hurt by his injury. I am going to put forward that the man who was Bradshaw. Now, I think the Bradshaw, we could have done this a lot better this year. And a lot of this is my shortcomings, because this was when I was in charge. Was the original Bradshaw reign was very confused. Because I still think it would have gone down better if he was this ass-kicking champion. This very aggressive, very strong champion. And I think that there was a mix between trying to do that and trying to be a fluky champion. I think the eventual breakup of the APA was a little bit wishy-washy and could have been more tight and a lot of the early stuff with Bradshaw ended up falling, for me at least, flat of what I intended to do with it. Um, he does. I mean, he has overperformed in terms of ratings in the game, and some of the later storylines have been better. But I also think when we committed to doing the Bradshaw title reign from real life, we understood what that meant for how many defenses of the title he needed. And I also think we kind of fell short of making all of those defenses interesting outside of the
Hmm.
Chavo
Yeah.
one. I think the Chavo
Yeah.
one was good, but I think everything else was a bit like. I mean, the RVD one was also good. There were a few really good ones in there, actually, to be fair. I think the Ray one wasn't that interesting. The Taker one had some
I think it's
problems. But
often.
okay.
I think just from those two examples there, it feels like when we know that we have to put in the legwork to make something sound interesting, we do. And
Yeah.
when it's JBL versus the Undertaker, you're just like, okay, like you know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
don't need to build to that. People know what that is. People know what they're getting with that idea. Um, yeah, I think I could maybe agree with that a little bit. Just the idea that when we had something to rest upon, we rested pretty damn hard on it.
Yeah, I think it's
As
a
compared
different
to
problem
working.
for those first 3 months where it was more of panic and scramble to try and get
How do we get to
something
Mania? How do we get to
together.
Mania? Oh my
What
god,
do we want
Benoit's
to?
hurt. Oh my god, how do
Yeah.
we get to Mania?
What do we want to do at Mania? How do we turn like? How do we maybe not have Bradshaw main eventing a Mania? How do we like? You know, was this the right call? You know, this, that, and the other. And there were some improvements on real life, but at the end of the day, that was very clumsy. Um, and I don't think it did Bradshaw any good. And I just generally think Bradshaw could have been better this year if both like if both of us had just done better with some of his stories. But then when I've been talking through this, now that I think about it, I am actually quite happy with both the Chavo feud, the Rob Van Dam feud, and I'm actually quite happy with the Undertaker feud. Now that I think about it, most of the hype beats were exciting and fun, and the Mark Henry stuff I think ended up being really good with it. There were just a few miscues, and when you're dealing with something like Bradshaw, which I think is a very fragile idea, like you need like a few fuck ups with this, and it can turn into like Seth Rollins, right?
Okay.
but but because it's a long title reign, and for the
Yeah.
most part, I think we've done quite well, but I think we've had some missteps along the way. The most interesting defense of JBL's reign will be when Doug beats him in the main event of WrestleMania. True.
Facts.
Facts. And another
Uh,
thing I think we've done is keeping the cabinet interesting. I think that was a
yeah.
good decision.
Yeah. Um I think the cabinet being really interesting has helped distract a little bit sometimes when John himself wasn't that interesting.
Yeah.
Or when he wasn't doing something of note. It's often okay, let's create this situation and let's put the cabinet characters into that and let's just see what happens. Literally this week on SmackDown with just let's have John host a New Year's party, which is like, okay, sure, but like you've got the Bashams, you've got Orlando Jordan, you've got Chavo, you've got Malenko, you've got Jimmy
Oh,
Yang.
did we
There's
mention
characters
OJ
there.
for the other category? Because OJ definitely deserves to be a contender for the other category.
No, we did not mention Orlando. Um, yeah, he's had a pretty good year.
Do you have any honorable mentions to run down for SmackDown here for the worst
For
category before we dive into someone new?
I think Big Show's been pretty rough.
I do disagree with you. Why didn't you explain? And then
Yeah.
I'll talk about this.
Um,
We've talked about this before.
I mean, Big Show was around the world title a lot this year. He wasn't with us. Just going on the grounds of versus the real world. I think Show's been. I mean, he's obviously not been around as much, which Puddy thinks is a positive, and I could definitely see it how it can be a positive. I just think when comparing it to real life, there's no real substitute to being on TV every week. Um, if you want to talk about Big Show, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been way better than real life, and I think the Brock thing is really cool. I think Brock killing him and then losing to Cena at Mania is way more fun than Big Show fighting Cena at WrestleMania.
True.
I think Big Show versus Henry was exciting and fun and built fine. I think Big Show's involvement in the Kendrick feud was funny and interesting and kept us going for a few weeks. I think Big Show built multiple stars this year without getting
Kenzo.
hurt himself.
Like Kenzo.
Kenzo was after I thought about this. Kenzo is another example, though. Big Show rose a lot of people up without
Did.
reducing himself, and I think that's more interesting than having him near the world title in this era.
I think that's fair. There's been like more good than bad on SmackDown. I think kind of as a result of that, probably my only candidates for really being weekly used are the Dudleys, who literally haven't been on TV since October. Were only part of like one feud on SmackDown in which there were like 6 other people.
100%.
And that's not so much because the Dudleys were doing anything amazingly interesting in late 04. They were just kind of heels running around. But they did have that feud with Taker. Just 2 guys that I look at all the time and I'm like, I want to use them, but no, I don't. Like, not by this point, you know what I mean? Like, when they are both walking, they're both walking.
I think we could have done more with Booker T. Just, to put it out there. I think there was a lot. I think he suffers with the same problem that Benoit has, in that since SummerSlam or so, I think we've just had different visions for who he is. And that means that when we sit down to book, we're booking different segments, and it's leading to a confused character that doesn't necessarily have the momentum he could have if we were on the same hymn sheet. Because,
probably accurate.
Yeah. I think it's this kind of situation where, if one person thinks, and this might not apply to Booker, but I think this is the best way to illustrate it. If one person thinks that the guy should be booked as a heel, and the other guy thinks he should be booked as a face, you're just never going to be able to get any momentum together, right? Because just like, listen, the arc of the storyline requires you're on the same page on that. With Booker, I don't think it's that. I think one of us thinks they should be a heel, and the other one thinks he should just be a tweener. But it's the same kind of situation where, you just don't get any momentum together because we're both trying to book different angles for him, and he can't move if he doesn't know where he's going. So I think that's the thing with Booker, and I think we've also kind of just span on him since he resolved the RVD thing, where it's like that got resolved and we didn't really come up with where the next step is, because it is hard. You're right, the pathways don't exist necessarily on SmackDown, but it's a product of that kind of just confused character that I think Benoit has the same problem with, which sucks because I think both of them are similar in that they could be really useful if we could find something to do with them.
Yeah, I definitely could see that.
So I'm going with Bradshaw, which I think, along with my worst storyline, will demonstrate how highly I think of SmackDown this year, because Bradshaw hasn't been that badly used. But
yeah, I'm going to go with
Bradshaw.
Yeah, I'll go with the Dudleys.
That's a good
just
show.
because they haven't done anything, and I'll be honest, they didn't do that much more in real life, like I said. But yeah, just SmackDown was really solid up and down. You were either used well, or you weren't used, and the Dudleys weren't used, and they were guys who you could probably find something to do if you really thought hard enough and really wanted to.
Yeah. So, what was the best storyline on Raw?
Best storyline on Raw? I mean, the Weather Wizards.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Best storyline on Raw. Val Venus Ric Flair stuff was alright.
Those are my 2 immediate candidates. It was Val and the Weather Wizards. I think Charlie Eddie and Randy Eddie.
Yep. They're up there. I think
Val versus Rick is a shout from chat.
Val versus Rick.
Did they ever actually wrestle? I don't think they ever did, right?
I think they did once.
Okay.
I think Ric Flair, or maybe not. It might have been Triple H and Val. I don't remember.
That's Ricky Steamboat.
I know. Wait. How did I get here?
You typed no brand.
Oh.
Wait, how did I get here?
Yeah, it's like, how did I get here? Who are you people? Yeah, Yeah, I don't think Rick ever fought Val.
That's awesome. I'm a big fan of that.
Oh, he'd be under Sean Morley. Oh,
Ah,
never
Unforgiven.
mind. He beat him. Um, I think Val's up there.
I think Benoit and Randy, and then Batista's entire year. I'm a huge fan of.
Batista's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's later on here, so I don't know if it can fully get credit for it. But I think this stuff with Eddie and Chris over the next couple months is going to be pretty fun. That we've kind of started here. I think they're in a good spot going forward.
I think Eddie benefits a lot from having Chris around, even if I'm not a huge fan of
Ooh.
what Chris is right now.
Right. I think one that's probably a little underrated just for the role it played at the time. I think Tajiri Matt Hardy
Yep, that's
with
true.
baseball. That was a long running feud that had a lot of different twists and turns.
Someone said, "Didn't Eddie and Rick have a program?" They did, and it was fun.
They did.
But
It was a lot of fun.
I don't think it quite passes my threshold for this
Yeah.
kind of thing.
It was really just get a title defense. Triple H isn't here. Kids aren't ready. I guess it's Rick.
Ironically, it's
along.
possibly because they both have vastly superior storylines. So I feel like I couldn't.
That's true.
Chuck
Yeah.
it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Benoit's return, I think, was really fun because he didn't say anything to anyone, and I just enjoyed that dynamic. And then
Yeah.
to go on and win the belt.
Um.
Randy breaking up from Evolution's a lot of fun. We did it quite nicely. Paul Heyman versus Vince McMahon.
I'm gonna say Paul versus Vince / Eric was a lot of fun. It was
a lot of fun.
The two GMs era.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot of the bases there.
Yeah. One favorite. I don't know if I could pick one favorite.
My initial thought was I was going to go with the Weather Wizards, but now that we've talked it through, there have been a lot of actually significant storylines that we've actually pulled off quite nicely.
Yeah.
But
versus the Weather Wizards, which is just memey goodness.
I can't help but go back to Charlie Haas and Eddie Guerrero, just because I really like the way I characterized Haas on that one pay-per-view. I think it was Taboo Tuesday where he goes and knocks on Eddie's door. Like, I just like that Charlie Haas, and I've been trying to recapture it ever since. So I think, I don't know, so maybe Eddie as a whole. I think maybe Eddie Guerrero's wild ride as a year is what I'll go with, because Eddie's been with some, because I think Eddie has been quiet at times, but when he's hit his like 4 or 5 peaks this year, he has been incredibly fun, and he's also been great.
I think I would have to go with I think one that I'm not going to pick this one, but it's one that popped into my head. World's Greatest Tag Team Flairtista that we did in the spring for a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that was a lot of fun. Even if if it's only fun because in my head the matches were pretty fucking great. I would go with Val Venus, I think. Maybe just because I was pretty attached to that character from I mean, I literally came up with the character. Like, I was like, what if he is using his charisma from being a porn star to get things from people by exchanging information? An informer, if you will. And then kind of seeing that evolve to him marrying Ric Flair's like third stepmom or something like that.
Twice divorced.
It's kind of bollocks. It's kind of great. It kind of rides the line between the Weather Wizards and I think a lot of the other more serious storylines that we like from Raw. I think it rides the line pretty well, and that's why I'll take it.
Okay. So for worst storyline on Raw,
oh Jesus,
I'm going to throw one out there early. There's a few that I'm going to take more seriously, but I just want to explore the idea that...
Say his name.
Well, I'm going to talk first about the Weather Wizards and Fiore.
Oh. Okay.
because
Oh,
there were
okay.
times over the 3 months I think it took from the inception of Paul Bearer's plan to the resolution of it that I think I was very frustrated by the lack of progress. Sometimes Kane would be sent to do something, he would be off screen the next week. Sometimes Randy would get sent to do something, he wouldn't report back that night, and I'd be like, well, you're going to wait till next week, right? And you'd be like, yeah. And then he wouldn't report back the next week. And he was just like, Paul Bearer was stuck in a I never understood the timing of everything. It was just...
Paul Bearer was stuck in a closet.
it was drawn out to the point that I was just like, I don't know. Who's going to face The Undertaker at Mania 21? Well, you'll have to tune in to find out, but it's going to be Chris Jericho.
I think, yeah, I would definitely agree. Like it's not been perfect. The Weather Wizards. It's just been a lot of fun, a lot of crack. Anything
It's
I
a
can
lot.
think of where
I
I'm
think
like,
I think it is really entertaining when you get the pacing right, because the concepts are all incredibly fun and executed fine. It's just when you're like, you don't trust yourself to be able to fill 4 weeks of TV with it. So what you'll do is you'll fill 2, and then in the middle you'll not do anything, and that hampers it at times. And it's yeah.
I feel that. The only good thing is I think karmically we're gonna be pretty good to just let Kane lay low and not do any of his other terrible feuds in between here and like '07 with him having children or him killing his children or his children or being kicked in the children and
That's
like,
true.
oh my god.
I definitely
Like,
think it was worthwhile doing this.
to just get it all out,
Yeah.
get all the Kane bollocks done by the time we're ready to really go for something.
So, William Regal and Doink.
Oh, fuck, that's the one I thought you were going to bring up. You shut the fuck up. Yeah.
It was
no.
such a poorly executed breakup that really hurt both guys. Really, I'm gonna say that.
I don't know if I would have just been better to just stop featuring them together. Like, just be
That
like,
would
no,
have definitely been better than what you did. Not
Yeah.
ideal, but better. I think there was a breakup there. You were just so... This was the thing. You were clearly done with that tag team. Like, you did not want to build a breakup because you did not want to do that anymore. But what you should have done is seen that coming about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Absolutely.
And started building the breakup then.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should show Doink the Clown on screen because there's someone in chat that doesn't know, you know.
Oh, yeah. Doink the Clown. Nick Dinsmore.
Yeah. Maybe
I
show
think
match history, and that might give some context to the year as a whole. For
he lose.
Oh my god,
lose a
Doink
lot.
and Regal started teaming in September.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'll turn that back around on you, though. You want to talk about Nat Hart?
Yeah, we should talk about Nat Hart. You're right. Go on. You
Some
talk.
of the
You,
worst
you talk
rated
about
TV
Nat Hart.
segments ever.
What? No, don't go to the rating. You need to hit me with the booking, all right? Because it was bad. You need to hit me with it.
She just beat people. Like, you kept complaining about me trying to build people by just beating people. This is all this woman ever did. She just beat people on TV and then kind of started hanging out near Trish Stratus after a while. Which,
That was
sure.
her character, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, sure, but I mean, wow, that's an uninteresting way to build somebody I'm supposed to give a fuck about. Like,
I mean, it's worked before. It worked with AJ Styles. You're right.
what the hell was that in?
New Japan. New Japan. Just beat.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
like
that's also not 22-year-old Natalia.
I was trying to hang my hat on the fact that she looked the part for the era, and that she was a better wrestler than most people in the division. Unfortunately, the game disagreed, and that's led to a perception that the booking was bad.
Amazing.
What's the? That's a good. This isn't a category, so we can deal with this quickly. Chat suggests what was our most disgusting moment in 2004. What's
The most
disgusting promotional tactic 2004? I think Sweaty Natalia might be.
Sweaty
might be an
Natalia's up
option.
there.
Yeah. As is Bloody Pulp. I think possibly.
Ric Flair, uh, Ric Flair being shown footage of Val Venus fucking his mom was pretty staggering. I think
It's pretty bad.
Linda McMahon pushing the Republican Party every week.
Hey, she
Pretty
was
fucking scummy.
she was never explicit. All right,
She's just in a red room.
that was on
With a red
SmackDown,
tie.
so it was blue.
Oh, okay. I think. I'm trying to think of any other like
Bad storylines.
extremely
There must be a few bad storylines from Raw that we just forget about because they're.
Oh,
just...
absolutely. Like,
What about Mick Foley and Triple H? That was pretty bad.
that was pretty bad, but it wasn't bad.
Why was Shawn Michaels Mick Foley's friend? Why did Shawn Michaels want to get a title shot for
Listen,
Mick Foley?
I'm gonna let it slide because it was the start of the series, and we could either start from ground zero or we could start there and pretend like shit already kind of existed.
What
I'd rather
about?
pretend shit
What do you
existed.
think about Shawn Triple H in the back half on Raw?
It wasn't overtly interesting, but people knew what they were getting. You know what I mean? Like, it had been done to the point, even by 04, where if we just were like 3 matches, we're finishing this, I think like the crowd base would just be like, yeah, okay. I'm all right with this.
All right.
I think Jamie Noble fucking his sister. It's pretty gross.
That sounds
His
fine.
cousin.
Oh, right, you're still on the disgusting promotion.
Yeah,
tactic.
sorry. There's so many. I mean, JBL and Kurt Angle's racism.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
I'm trying to think anything else that has been really fucked up that we've done. The bag of hands. Nunzio's bag of hands. It's kind of like
The little Italian kid cock.
John Cena being stabbed
John
in a
Cena being
nightclub and coming
stabbed.
back like 6 days later. Brian Dr. Kendrick
Yeah, Booker T not
And the
consenting to
and
his
the promotion
yeah
promotion of illegal narcotics.
RVD peer pressuring his black friend into smoking weed when he doesn't want to.
That's true.
I was quite uncomfortable at the time. Tori Wilson liking small men. That's a good one from chat. Jimmy Yang as the Minister for
title
Foreign
bearer.
Affairs, and then
The
also the
foreign
title bearer. Yeah. Then Chavo Guerrero as a title bearer.
Yeah. Death of Wally Yamaguchi.
Well, I think that was handled quite tastefully.
That's fair.
All right, for the worst storyline stuff.
This is for Raw, right?
Yeah, this is for Raw. I think there's also an argument to make for what was it? I can't remember now.
I'm gonna go with. Okay, no, I probably won't go this one, but one that should be remembered is the Fatards angle.
One should also be sure. That was okay, actually, I think. But
Yes,
what
I was
that
gonna say.
should also be remembered is William Regal calling out Billy Kidman because of his drug addiction randomly.
Just beating William Regal back at the end of it.
Just
Poor
randomly.
Regal. Poor Regal. He had such a shit year.
Yeah.
It's definitely got to be Regal and Doink.
What
The
about Kane
worst.
versus Matt Morgan in the interpromotional match at WrestleMania? Is that?
I don't even remember why that would happen.
I think Vince just made it.
It was like, fuck you.
It's Matt Morgan.
I think it definitely has to be Doink and Regal.
I will back you if that's your choice. I'll go with that as well.
Yeah.
All right, best storyline on SmackDown. It's got to be Shawn and Ray for me, I think.
Yeah, I think that's probably the strongest story I think we've had. If not that, this last kind of stuff with Booker, really figuring out kind of what we want Booker to be, what we want Booker to do, has been pretty fun.
I think
We're not totally there yet, but,
no.
you know.
I think OJ getting the Bashams to beat up RVD was a good storyline.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, I think
Edge and Chavo.
Evan
the stuff
Chavo
here.
winning the belts.
Well, even just the stuff here at the end with
This
Chavo
isn't.
being
I don't
forced to
think.
join the cabinet.
Yeah, I don't think this is finished yet for that one.
No,
I think
no.
the best is yet to come on that story.
No, but I'm just saying, I think it's a contender, which I think is something.
Mark Henry getting thrown into the Gulf of Mexico. That was cool. I think personally.
Um,
Big Show
the
versus
implosion.
Kenzo. Big Show versus Kenzo is a shout from chat. I actually think Kenzo Sugi's House of Sushi is going to be a legendary storyline next year if Tucker listens to my end game.
I almost certainly just will, because I have no ideas when I make things. I just go, that seems fun for a week. I don't know. I think Dean Malenko coming out of retirement was fun for the first little bit. I think later on it kind of...
Someone asked, "What will Mordecai return?"
No. Actually, never say never. We could get to 07 and be like, Kevin Thorne! Kevin Thorne!
Good storylines on SmackDown is what we were talking about.
Yeah, I think...
I think Brock Lesnar killing the Big Show because he's pissed he doesn't have a WrestleMania match. It was cool. And I definitely think Brock versus Cena was way better than Brock versus Goldberg.
The Tori GM ship and seeing her grow.
Undertaker hates WCW. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, Undertaker does hate WCW. The continued callbacks to that. I think the Survivor Series stuff for SmackDown was pretty fun.
I agree.
Bringing all those characters together. I think there was something I was... the kind of the spring summer of the Hillbillies.
Yep.
Feuding with Cena, coming together, and then kind of even now still imploding and coming back together. I think they've been pretty funny.
Kyodai Unleashed, Leashed, Reborn, Forever.
Dead.
Kyodai, the altar of the tag team god.
Kid Cash being Paul Heyman's guy in the Cruiserweight division.
And then when Paul left, the Cash Alliance.
The Cash Alliance.
That got ripped apart, I think, because Matt Morgan left immediately afterwards or something.
Yeah, basically. And so it was just like, oh, all right, I guess they're done.
And then it was just Cash and A-Train, which led to the most monumental argument of the series. Should they be a stable?
I think something we missed for Raw is Ace is on the case.
Ace being on the case. Although I will say, I think that was criminally underdeveloped. I think you left that. I think you could have done more with that.
He did it once. It was good enough for me, but he wanted more.
I definitely wanted him not to be stuck in a closet for a month and a half, especially since you didn't sell it.
I never intended for him to be stuck in a closet. That's why. Basically, I just realized that Johnny Ace hadn't been seen for a while, so I was like, maybe
that was the thing.
Try to find Johnny.
That was the thing. You were so non-committal to it that I didn't even realize it had happened, and so I kept asking, "Where's Johnny Ace?" And you're like, "Oh, he's in the closet." I was like, "Why?"
Oh yeah, like literally, I was just at that point, like, I don't know where he is. I don't know why I don't use Johnny anymore. I just stopped using him for a couple weeks, and it was like, well, where'd he go? I'm like, I don't know where he went. I could make up somewhere he went. Maybe he's been kidnapped by Paul Bearer. I don't know.
I think Steve Austin as the SmackDown sheriff was quite fun.
Ooh, yeah. More SmackDown stuff. I actually can't think of anything else, really. I'm trying to look at different names here. See if anything pops into my head. No.
All right, what are you going for then?
Okay, you're probably gonna side Ray Sean, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll go with just in general Tori being GM. Then I'll go with the other one that I think is probably the other strongest candidate for that. Just because she was really fucking great in a role that I don't think either of us knew whether or not she'd be super good or we'd want to use her a whole bunch, and she turned out to be like probably one of my favorite GM characters I've ever seen done. So,
and to think I don't remember what it was, but I remember when
I almost did.
You almost fucked it up, yeah.
I almost did, and I'm glad I didn't. But I think even in the time, you could see what I was thinking when I was thinking that, to where I was like, this is what we need to do. This will, because you know what I mean? Like you want to make me hate somebody. I want to ruin something. I'm like, I want to ruin something people like.
All right. Worst storyline on SmackDown.
Oh, fuck. Are there any bad storylines on SmackDown? Thank you.
Okay, here we go. So.
Uh-oh.
I think shifting the JBL xenophobia off of JBL and onto Kurt Angle at a time when we were trying to use Kurt Angle as GM as a momentum builder did so much harm to Kurt's run as GM. So much so that I would even include Kurt's run as GM on this list because I just think it was nobody really knew what to do with him, and he just stood around doing random shit. Some of it was fun, but it was that mask video night, which was supposed to be this big JBL night, when all of that heat got shifted onto Kurt. I thought that was really bad. I thought it was a really bad idea. I don't know if you remember that angle.
Not really, because it was one angle, and I was just shooting off the cuff, just doing whatever like I normally do. And I had Kurt say a line, and you were like, "You have fucked this." And I was like,
Double
I
down.
Yeah, I was like, "Can I undo it?" And you were like, "No." I was like, "Okay."
That's not true. That's a mischaracterization. You had gone off for quite a while by the time I was like, "Well, here we go."
Sure, but right at the end, you were officially just like, "All right, nope, this is where we're going, I guess." God damn it.
Yep, I was like, "Well, I'll wash my hands of this one." Because I had tried up in that point to help the GM run for Kurt.
Ooh.
But, yeah.
Underrated storyline. Something that I think we completely forgot about because it was so early. Chris Benoit, Man Under Pressure, with Kurt Angle constantly badgering at him for different things.
Shit, yeah! And Kurt had a Canadian friend, yeah.
Yeah. That was building to be a lot of fun.
Who was the person you were happiest to release during 04? Goldberg?
Oh, Goldberg was fun. Yeah, get rid of Goldberg. I had a lot of fun getting rid of... I don't know, actually.
We did get rid of
losing people.
We got rid of all of the black women. That was probably a mistake.
all of the black women. My favorite was all of the black women.
Yeah, wait. So is that there was some bad shit in the early days of SmackDown? So
almost certainly, I just can't think of very many.
I actually think the Los Guerreros stuff in the early days was a bit clumsy. I might throw that in there. Brock versus Bradshaw. Bradshaw versus
Nia Jamie
Kurt.
Noble was really good also at the start of the year.
That's true. I'm blind, Todd.
Holy shit! There's so much good shit on SmackDown. Fuck off, SmackDown. You don't get to be this good.
One that I can throw out there then as oh shit, what was it? Well, just in general, Bradshaw as fluky champion, I think, is a storyline I'm not a huge fan of. Bradshaw, the APA breakup.
There's one fun angle in there that I really liked.
Maybe.
When we were literally doing the week to week conversion, where he went out, bought a limo, was like, "Please call me Mr. Layfield. Only my friends call me Bradshaw." I thought that was a lot of fun. And then him running the APA door through a wood chipper in the parking lot, like top quality.
Media peaked with Noble. What was the worst match in pay-per-view in 04? Well, we're gonna do the best match in best pay-per-view. I know we're gonna do the worst one.
Yeah, we don't try to look at our failures.
Well, we have all night, but those ones they're like we can just say some random 1 minute match on Raw or something like.
True.
Any other bad storylines in SmackDown you want to throw up here? I think Kurt. Actually, should we throw the Kurt Undertaker feud?
Wait, what is that?
It's the thing that never really happened, but kind of did enough.
Right, okay, yeah. So
because Kurt and Undertaker were on different sides at Survivor Series, and there was enough foreshadowing that I think we could consider it a feud. But because you were like, "What is that?" That's enough evidence to show how bad it was.
Yeah, that's fair. Anything else on here that I'm like? I don't think so. I think a lot of SmackDown's been really good, fortunately.
Better than Raw on average.
Yes.
In this department.
Absolutely on average.
All right, I'm gonna go with Kurt Angle as GM as an extension of Kurt Angle is a racist.
I'm gonna go with fuck. This is actually fucking tough. What do I hate from SmackDown? What did I not think was as good as it could have been from SmackDown? Um,
What about the Christmas lingerie match?
oh god. I think um I'll pencil it in as my thing. Just because I think I saw it playing out a lot more interesting. I'll go with Malenko's return.
That's a good show.
I thought that would build to like a really kind of cool period with him as champion, as this really like kind of badass bitter motherfucker who's like completely silent in the cabinet and is also kind of tiny, but will tear you apart.
I kind of
And
blame.
we're just
I partially blame Malenko for that, but yeah.
oh yeah, Malenko was like much much worse than I thought he would remotely be. I mean, he's been in some pretty good matches, but a lot of these matches are with people that we already liked, anyways. Um, yeah, if you only get a 66 with Paul London, then just I'm sorry, there's not much I can do with you. Um,
If you don't get a 31 with Grandmaster Sexay, I don't know.
terrible, terrible.
All right. So that's all of the more detailed stuff. So the last four categories I think are going to be relatively quick. What was the best show of the year?
On paper, or well, we can check the actual rating. It's Survivor Series.
I'm gonna go with Charlie Haas Gauntlet Night. Did you forget about your other opponent?
Ooh,
Benjamin wins the US title to open, or the IC title to open that night.
Are we talking TV shows?
Any show. You can be a pay-per-view if you prefer the pay-per-view.
I don't think so, because often pay-per-views are like culminations instead of fun things happening.
I think No Mercy would have been my second, to be fair.
I think the Charlie Haas Gauntlet night sticks out in my head, and there's very few TVs that stick out in my head. So
what about the Beat the Clock night? For
Beat the Clock was fun. Beat the Clock was fun. Batista slowly figuring out that he got taken out of that by Triple H and not really knowing how to feel about that. Being so convinced in Triple H that he possibly to this moment still believes that Val Venus was lying to him.
The best show was the show where Doug Basham won the tag team titles with a partner that he doesn't have to carry.
I think a good show. There was a SmackDown once.
Are you thinking
SmackDown had?
Are you thinking of the one with JBL RVD and a US title banger that main evented? Because there was that one. There was JBL RVD for the title, and then there was also Cena really Booker, I think, in the main.
Yeah. That's a really good one. I was just more so thinking angles and stuff like that. It might very well have been the one where I fucked up and made Kurt Angle way more racist than he was supposed to be. But there's been a couple SmackDowns where I've been able to like paint fucking pictures of what I'm seeing in my head for these angles. And anytime I get to do that is always a lot of fun for me.
Oh yeah, that's it. So to add to what we were talking about with that angle, I completely forgot to mention it. It was the Great American Award night. It was meant to be such a good angle for JBL. Sorry, to keep harping, but I just remembered it was good.
No, it's totally fine. It's just because I've never seen the Great American Award, so when you just told me, just do the Great American Award, I was like, oh, okay, I can pull this off, surely.
Let's not go and watch the 8-minute YouTube video. Let's just
fuck that. Let's off the cuff it. I think a really good angle was when all of the different people came out, provided reasons why Tori Wilson should probably be fired, even though she's been a good GM. She's kind of been terrible, low-key.
That's a good one.
I think that was a lot of fun because I brought out tons of different characters, like so many that I don't think we could even put them all in the angle. And I think we did a really good job at painting Tori in the light that she was a really good GM, that people might have not realized how many different ways she had fucked different characters over. I think that was a lot of fun.
I think the night Triple H arrived on SmackDown was fun because of the good, congratulations, little man, I'll take my belt now. It was a good angle.
The weeks that Triple H wasn't on Raw for Evolution was some of my favorite stuff, like, ever. It was so fun to loosen up and let those three characters, Flair, Orton, and Batista, like kind of be themselves and realize that they'd definitely all be much happier if Triple H wasn't around. Rick doesn't have to be like, oh yes, benevolent leader. Orton's kind of allowed to stretch his legs, and nobody's belittling Batista or just using him as muscle. They let him be himself.
Even though I think it was kind of underrealized, Chaos Night on Raw was still a really fun idea.
Chaos Night.
I wish you'd done more with it, but it was still a really great idea.
Yeah, I think something. I definitely think that was a lot of fun.
Brand Night, the Draft Night, sorry.
Draft Night was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. Triple H getting drafted.
Yeah, the big meme shock face. Bischoff coming back was lots of fun.
Bischoff coming back had a whole night story where he's like walking around content and taking stuff off doors and stuff like that.
Yeah, cool. He was just feeling himself.
Oh my! Well, we know he doesn't wear pants when he's at his desk.
I think there was something I was going to say about Bischoff, and now I don't even remember it. It was something about GMs or something. There was an angle that I never got to pull off just because of how we switched. Because if people don't originally know, Heyman was not initially expected to continue his GM run. Like, the idea, I think, initially was to put Heyman out at SummerSlam with Bischoff, and then Puddy got thinking and talking about how Eric's gonna hang around for a while, and even then, how much can you do with Eric?
I think it was always a confusion because I was always convinced that Helms was winning that match. And so when we came to realize that Helms would be representing Heyman, I was like, well, I guess it's going to be Heyman because I did not want Triple H winning that match.
Yeah, that's fair. It might have been. I definitely am I don't know how I wouldn't have gotten it, or maybe it just never like sunk into me. But I had an angle with Heyman leaving where he was going to give his card to Shelton Benjamin if he ever needed it, and that would be if we ever do, if like 08 or 07, 08 or something like that, if we ever wanted to do a heel Shelton Benjamin, he just calls up Paul Heyman, and it's that simple.
Maybe we could still do that kind of angle.
I think so. I definitely think the groundwork's still there. It's just we didn't get the literal angle of Heyman being like, if you ever need me.
But we should do it with RGP. Sorry, RGD. RGD. Sorry, RGD.
RGD. Fucking.
René Gascoigne Dupree.
The pride of Quebec.
So what's your best show of the year, Tucker?
Fuck.
Is it Survivor Series? Do you agree with the game? That was a pretty good show.
No.
It had Chavo, JBL. It was Shawn, Triple H last time, the two Survivor Series matches.
I'm gonna go with, and I don't even know when the SmackDown was. It was in the past couple months. I'm gonna go with the show where Chavo had lost the rematch and had joined the cabinet, and Edge was trying to talk to him. Edge was trying to get to him, and he couldn't. And Edge gave that speech about how, Chavo's a good guy and that he's, he fights hard for who he is and his family name, like people have tried to push him aside his whole life. But, he's a tough dude who fights for the right reasons, and he's got passion about him, and you sons of fucking bitches are going to ruin it. Like, and just that, I don't know, just kind of hearing another character talk about another character that way, I think is really cool. When you have
OJ gave him the belt back, was like, Mr. Guerrero won't be needing this anymore.
Yeah, and then kind of just not really knowing what to do from there, whether or not Chavo had meant to give the belt back, which I think was somewhat insinuated, which kind of seemed to throw Edge for a loop, or whether they were forcing him to give it back or what. Just that whole thing I think was really good. Kind of sticking with the Tucker trend of liking darkness and suffering. Ha ha ha.
So, what about match of the year?
Match of the year?
Do you want me to go first? Because I have
mine.
Molly Holly, Hardcore Holly, and Jamie Noble versus Rikishi, Grandmaster Sexay, and Scotty 2 Hotty at the Great American Bash.
Amazing.
Otherwise known as the last Battle of Norfolk, Virginia.
I think I'm trying to see if any of these spark my memory on anything.
Close second might be Last Ride. I think Last Ride turned out to be pretty fucking good.
Last Ride was really fun. I think
Triple H Ray was also kind of fun.
Batista Flair World's Greatest Tag Team, probably for me. Just any pairing of that.
Was it the? Did you forget about the other opponent match or the one the week after?
It's the week after where they're both fresh and they're Shelton and Haas now, or they're out to prove something. You know what I mean? They're wrestling with a lot more heart than they were before. I think that was pretty good. I think then the other thing I might say is the no holds barred match between Orton and Cactus Jack there. So
Yeah, that was.
I remember at the time doing a lot about toughening up Orton and kind of putting him through the paces, and Mick was perfect for that role. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, so your most exciting prospect on Raw.
Ooh.
Maybe
the one just below John Cena defeats Shawn. That's the formation of the cabinet, that match. That's the one where Doug comes out.
You said John Cena, you mean JBL. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah. It's, oh, God, John Cena, Shawn Michaels, oh, God, make it 23, help. Yeah, that's the formation of the cabinet, and Shawn being completely beside himself that JBL beat him, because we were still kind of establishing that JBL's a power to be reckoned with. I think there was a lot of fun stuff coming out of that. Anyways.
All right, who's your most exciting prospect on Raw for next year?
Most exciting prospect on Raw for next year?
Who is currently on the Raw roster, not who is going to be on the Raw roster.
John Cena. I mean, there's an easy answer.
Al Snow? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no. There's a...
Who's your easy
There's
answer?
an easy answer.
Oh. Interesting.
I think it might just have to be Shelton. I mean, he's... Yeah, I think I'll just go safe. I'll go Shelton. Shelton, I mean, just in terms of what I know we have planned for him, obviously. But also, he's been pretty great this year also. So allowing him to do so on a bigger stage should prove positive.
Yeah, I'm looking through a filtered list, and I can't come up with anyone who I'm more excited about than what we've got planned for Shelton Benjamin. Oh, no, I do. I know who it is.
Maybe RG.
No. I think we've both missed a trick with this one because we're thinking young when we should be thinking fresh. The Animal, Batista.
Oh, of course. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty easy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Dave, set to do big things.
Carlito, well, he's on SmackDown, so if we're going to talk about him, we'll get to him in a second. So you're going to go Shelton, I'll go Batista. Easy picks there.
Sure.
What about on SmackDown? Brian Hebner comes up. He's only 24, you know.
Excellent.
So what about Carlito, since someone asked about him?
What about Carlito?
Okay, moving on. It's John Cena.
Yeah, it's John. Like, absolutely, it's Cena. But who else could it be?
John Cena?
Yeah, I'm getting a good.
Is there anybody you're excited to do something unique with from SmackDown next year?
Next week, specifically next. Because
I'm trying to think. I mean,
Chavo. I think.
Chav. I mean, I think he's still going to be waiting a little bit. Forget his.
Didn't he win like Superstar of the Year for Raw? Also, we're like breakout star, next star, Chavo.
Well, he won Best Used Character for SmackDown. Yeah.
I think Edge.
Oh.
I know. Yeah, just in terms of how he's been used and what he's.
We still don't even know if we're doing Money in the Bank, Tucker.
No, I don't even mean for that. I just meant the match that he has at WrestleMania that we're thinking.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know. Well, if you're excited about it, I'm looking forward to how you're gonna build it. I hope it's gonna be good.
Fuck.
What?
I thought you had an idea. That's why I was excited to see it.
Uh-oh!
I was like, Puddy's gonna find something interesting for Edge to do, and it's gonna be great. I'm like, it's gonna.
I think this
help
is
me figure out what's going on.
I think this is I know what the match is, and I know what the concepts are, but like the Angle Taker thing, I'm hoping you're going to be able to implement it. I can give you conceptually what I think should be the angle, but you're going to have to find out how to put it into the game.
So when I fuck it up and we end up with Edge versus JBL at Mania, what's going to happen?
We'll cross that bridge. I mean, I think I'm gonna have to say John.
Did you forget about your other opponent?
I think I'm gonna have to take John Cena, unless we end up with Edge and JBL at Mania.
Yeah, I'll go with John as well.
All right, and that is all of the categories I had. So why don't we make a few quick predictions about what might be the in-game awards? So obviously, in terms of Wrestler of the Year, it's probably going to be some Japanese guy.
Yeah. We're going to win Company of the Year.
What about, who do you think our top wrestler in the Power 500 is going to be? I think it's going to be Sean.
It likely will be Sean, yeah.
Or Eddie. Maybe Eddie.
Oh, it could be Eddie. It's probably either Eddie or Sean. It's either Eddie, Sean, or...
Puddy is anti-Money in the Bank.
Maybe Ray. Maybe Ray?
I don't think Ray's going to win. I don't think he has enough top end.
That's true. You're probably right. Not seeing.
Do you think we have any chance of winning Tag Team of the Year with Flair Tista?
No.
Okay.
No, because there'll be a team in Japan that's just two main eventers who they've teamed like 30,000 fucking times.
Do you think we have a chance of winning Vet of the Year with Rick?
No, there's going to be some Japanese guy who's like 50 who's putting out hundreds.
All right, those are my predictions. You got any more?
Not really.
All right, let's go. I don't think Taker's going to win anything because we've barely used him and he hasn't actually done that well.
I'll move forward here and then I'll pull up the spreadsheet.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, move forward, pull up the spreadsheet to hide it, and then we can talk about your spreadsheet. I forgot about that.
So this is kind of cool.
Very much so. Doug Basham will be Wrestler of the Year. Doug Basham will be Young Wrestler of the Year. Doug Basham will be Veteran Wrestler of the Year. And the Basham Brothers will be Tag Team of the Year. Not Doug and Chavo? You're more of a Basham's mark than Doug and Chavo? Because I'm more of a Doug and Chavo guy myself.
So this is sorted by the total win percentage.
And you said Nat Hart was a failure, Tucker. Look at it. She's number one. She's number one. She's number one.
I'll scroll down through this list. And let people pause where they want to and take looks
at Road Dogg. Woof woof, motherfucker.
Yeah, take a look at who's where and who did what this year. Take her nice and slow. Kane and Mortis at 50-50.
50-50 booking is the way to go.
Oh, hell yeah. We got so many 50s.
The Rock pay-per-view, not available. Sorry, The Rock TV, not available. Wait, how was Rock 50-50? What was the second match he wrestled on?
He...
Didn't he just wrestle one match?
No, he has two. I know this because
There's the Mania
did
one.
all these numbers.
There's the Mania one.
Look. Was he in the Rumble?
Oh, he might be. I don't think so, though.
Can you tell me he wasn't in the Rumble?
Hold on, let me check. I can actually check. I have my own version of the save.
Excellent, because there's a second match there, and I know it.
But even you counted Rumble loss? That's a bit mean of you.
I think it's a TV loss.
The Rock was it? No, you counted the Rumble. You counted the Rumble.
Oh, okay.
Which he was in.
Okay, cool.
I maintain that's mean of you.
Oh, I don't. I put in the Rumble for everybody. So
that's very mean. Maybe Benoit and Eddie will win Tag Team of the Year next year. Maybe.
If it counts for a win for somebody, it counts
I think
as a
it should
loss.
only count as a win. I don't think it should count as a loss. But hey.
Just at the bottom. Jesus.
Hey, wait, Jesus has a... Oh, no, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. 1, 0-1, 0-1.
Ron Simmons. Damn.
Ron Stevens.
Grandmaster Sexy.
2 out of 20. 2 out of 22.
Miss Jackie down there, the perennial jobber, still higher than some member of
Jobbers
the SBI.
Row down here.
Jobbers
Like, you get past, like, about here, and it's just Jobbers Row.
Dude, 2 of those guys are the Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions.
Jobbers Row indeed.
It is totally a win and a loss. Can't skew it one way. I don't know. There's 29 losers in one match. I ain't feeling it.
It's no good, Puddy. That's no good. How about Kenzo being so high? How do you feel about Kenzo being 16th?
Well, we did push him quite hard when he came in, and I think it's deserved. Let me go look at Kenzo, because I'm of the impression that Kenzo will make quite the man.
Oh, it's ready.
Yeah, he's alright.
The game is ready. Behind us, FYI.
Oh, I didn't really... Oh, man, it's so slow.
I think it's ready. It is.
Should we look, or do you have anybody you'd like to point out? Okay, well, we're in. We've only seen Masahiko Kono. Do you want to go back
We've got our new screen, by the way.
That's actually pretty interesting.
It's nice. I like it.
Do you want to point out anybody in particular on the spreadsheet before we jump into these awards?
Hurricane Helms, pretty high.
Yeah. Mainly on TV though. His pay-per-view records not very good.
Road Dogg.
Do you want? Can you actually sort by pay-per-view just briefly for me? I'm just curious.
Yes. Sort. Pay-per-view. Largest, smallest. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Game.
Victoria, Jindrak, Mamaluke, and then ignore those. So it's Trish, Nat, Cena, and Eddie, really, that have been here all year.
Yep.
Nobody's got an amazing pay-per-view record. But then that's probably because you're including the Rumble for everybody, so it's a ding for everybody except Eddie, so, you know.
True.
Alright, you can undo that now if you want to go back to your previous rankings.
All right.
Or just go straight to the awards. All right.
I'd go straight to the awards. That's all I want to do.
You're clearly keen. I don't think we're going to win Company of the Year.
Really? I think we are.
I think we are too.
Yeah, shocker. Team of the Year. I knew it.
Whoa.
I knew it would be those fucks.
I got baited.
I had Brock and Shamrock in my head. I was like, the 2 main eventers who teamed the entire year.
I got baited. I was like, wait, who did Brock team with this year?
Match of the year.
Boo.
Fuck you, game.
We're gonna win.
Where did that even happen? Just a World Pro Wrestling episode.
We're gonna win Show of the Year though, because we got a celebrity.
Who was involved in that? It was Chono. Show me Chono here real quick. I want to see. What did he get? Probably a 99. What was the other guy's name? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was that guy at the top. It wasn't that match, but it was that guy at the top. I think.
Right. It was now Yaga.
That's him.
He got a 99 twice with him. We also got 99s. I guess it's because they got their 99 before us.
No, I don't think it's before. I think it's just random or based on some other factors.
Fair enough. Virus hired by New Japan.
That's how it started.
Show of the Year.
Survivor Series.
Young wrestler.
Randy Orton.
Kota
Ibushi!
Kota Ibushi, baby, who showed up in Japan, is a fucking god tier worker at 22, and he's just killing it.
Randy Orton had a better year. He's probably not eligible.
Veteran.
Come on, Rick.
Vader.
What, Vader? Really?
Vader. I told you there'd be some old fucker in Japan who just worked with top tier guys.
He's got like a 40 in there. Come on. Yeah. Rick's been way better.
Wrestler.
That Hart. That
Female
Hart.
Trish.
God damn it.
Most approved company. New Japan.
Fuck you guys.
Independent wrestler.
Hey.
Oh, baby. Manager. Rick.
Hey, you won one award.
That's our boy. Announcer. JR. Color comm. Lawler. Let's go. Ref of the year.
George Hackenschmidt.
George Hackenschmidt. George Hackenschmidt. Fuck you, Earl. And insiders say Randy Orton is a new man.
Oh, is that good?
That's the note we've been waiting for, Puddy.
Oh, it's a
5 years in the business, becoming the pre-work in the U.S. He's done a lot of growing up, and most of it in front of the fans' eyes. Professional personality type.
Hey.
We dodged the bullet. Randy Orton is a good boy now.
Oh wait, so he's never gonna get the bad boy note.
No, he's reformed.
Oh my! Welcome to the Pantheon, Randy Orton.
Exactly. This also opened.
Ghetto joins DDT.
AWASW, Superstars of Wrestling, opened by Dale Gagne. Is that related to? I'm uncomfortable. We're moving along.
Scotty Too Hotty gone from WWE.
What do we have here? Oh yeah, Bob Court.
We still can talk about that afterwards.
God damn it. We're gonna let him go. Don't worry, folks. Power 500.
Not sure about that. Oh yeah. So wait, I said Sean. You said Eddie, right?
Eddie. Yeah. Eddie. At 7.
Sean's really close.
Where is he? 10. 12 is Triple H. 11 is Sting.
Wait, what's Eddie's average? I'm curious.
Sure. Eddie's average is an 83.
And what's Sean's average?
86.
Well, game!
This is not how this is supposed to work. Triple H.
I was robbed.
Batista.
Whoa!
At 13. Did not place previous year. Holy shit.
What's Triple H? He's second? What's
down from
Sean?
2. Sean's up from 32nd. Eddie's up from 9th to 7th. Fucking Vader.
Whoa! He wrestled 155 times
at 48. Veteran Wrestler of the Year, buddy.
He deserves it.
Yeah. Orton at 17, up from 63.
Hey, Goldberg was in our company briefly. Let's not forget
Angle.
about him.
19th, down from 3.
Lowest rating was on Velocity, as all should be.
Ric Flair, up from 53rd to 25th. Ray is 31st. He did not place previous year. Then Bradshaw didn't place, up to 36th. Booker, down from 7th to 37th.
He's had a good year, though.
Yeah. Benoit, down from 13th to 40th.
He got injured.
Ultimo,
Oh my god.
44th, did not place previous year.
Wrestled
Shelton,
100 matches.
down from 30 to 46. Oh, never mind. We don't have Danielson yet.
What do you mean yet, dude?
Where are our guys? There's Rob.
What's Rob doing here? You can, if you click search, I'm pretty sure you can filter just WWE guys. Yeah, works for.
Oh, we can. Excellent. Okay, cool. So we got the big gap between Shelton and Rob. Chris, Charlie Haas.
Wow, Charlie Haas
Big
got
Show.
25th that previous year.
Yeah, Jesus. Big Show, John Cena, A-Train.
Mostly because of his work with John Cena.
Yeah. Chavo,
We move
Christian.
outside the top 100.
Tajiri, Kidman, Helms, Basham.
It's Doug! It's Doug!
Without Danny in sight!
Let's
Oh, he
go,
is.
dude!
Rhino, 1 point below Rhino is Kid Cash. Bob Holly, 1 point below Bob Holly is Jamie Noble. Road Dogg. Trish. Mark Henry at 200. Kendrick. Then Danny. Lita. Matt. Paul London. Maven. Edge. Billy Gunn.
Nydia makes it into the top 500.
Lydia is in. It's like, Lance, Test, Jackie Gata, the Dudleys, William Regal.
Wait, did the Dudleys
Kane.
never wrestle separately this year? That's what it looks like.
It looks like once.
Once.
It looks like Devon lost a singles match somewhere in there, and so. Yeah, so Devon lost a singles match somewhere in there, and so we got 10 points ahead. OJ, Jimmy Yang, He's Matt Morgan, T. Richards, Funaki, Spike, Rob Conway, Jindrak, Dean Malenko, Grenier, Val Venus, Moore, Doink, Kenzo, Rosie, Palumbo, Dupree, Molly Holly, Heidenreich, Al Snow.
Wait, what? Okay, that's...
Al Snow works his own fed in the background.
He did wrestle for us once.
Yes.
Stevie Richards on Raw.
Stambo, Nat Hart, Ernest Viller, Tony Mavalouk, Grandmaster Sexay, Nydia.
She made it.
She made it. Holy shit, we're in 2005, buddy.
Show him creative, Tucker. You love creative.
Here's what we got. John Cena's past Jericho now. It's his time.
But chat says since Randy's not an asshole, John's going to be useless.
Oh, true. Doink apparently is no longer an next big thing.
Oh, no.
Quickly flipping through these. Probably my favorite thing. Oh, it's just Kane finally. Somebody has no momentum. and our hidden gems.
Oh, includes Sonny Siaki.
Fucking Sonny Siaki. Terrible.
That was 2004.
Shit, we made it 2005.
By the way, can I put out there that we lost $12 million last month, and we gave out over 40 in bonuses. Yeah. I think that's because we paid no taxes. Yep, we paid no taxes last month.
Amazing.
That's how we avoid taxes. Pay all the workers. They can pay the taxes.
I like it. Checking out merch. There's our top 13 for all yous interested.
For December.
Yeah.
You should put together a top 10 for the entire year.
You can't go back and look at other merch sales.
But I bet all of the screenshots are in our Discord because you always send them to me.
They're not. They're not all in there. I know that. I've gone looking before.
Oh, wait. Go back to merch.
Sure.
We are at 94%.
94.
We will be there by Mania.
Before the Rumble.
Okay.
Before the Rumble.
Yeah.
It's weekly, so before the Rumble.
How much do we go up every week? 2%.
2%.
So it's 3 weeks from now. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we can get started on the next level.
Yeah. I wonder what the next level will be called, considering this one is industrial scale.
Uber industrial scale.
Light speed delivery.
I'm surprised Hardcore Holly still has morale issues after paying him $500,000.
Oh, I know. Both him and Molly are fucking dicks. Oh, he's back. I can kill him now. It's go time.
Well, folks, I hope you've enjoyed 2004.
Come on. You guys can hear. You can just hear me kill a spider on like. Come on, get out of there. Come on, get out. I need you on a flat surface so I can murder you.
There've been some ups.
He's in a bin. He won't get out of this bin. Come on.
There've been some downs. But through it all.
God damn it! No, this is the worst time for this to happen. All right, I'm back on with you for a sec. I can still see him.
We've done it our way.
How are we doing?
Is there anything else you'd like to cover, or should we end the video?
I think we're good to go.
Alright, well, thank you all for watching this end-of-year recap with me and Tucker. Tucker, would you like to say goodbye? Would you like to hype up 04? What are they looking forward to in the pay-per-views of 04?
Oh, I'm gonna kill this spider.
05. Join us for the Royal Rumble No Way Out. Actually, New Year's Revolution will be out before
I gotta
the
go.
Rumble.
I gotta kill him.
New Year's Revolution, there's an Elimination Chamber, Triple H versus Randy Orton versus Batista versus Tajiri versus Shelton Benjamin versus Chris Benoit for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then we get to the Royal Rumble, who will start their road to WrestleMania with a main event guaranteed place by winning the Royal Rumble. Then No Way Out, SmackDown's last stop before WrestleMania, culminating with the grandest show of them all as WrestleMania goes Hollywood.
Fucking damn it, I lost him again.
We'll see you for 05.